I'm going to win. I want to divorce. And the person will be wondering, but I just committed this small thing. Why? Because they've been piling a lot of conflicts which were not resolved.
I had to ask him to say, can you mention why are we on this date? Are you really seriously or is this just a brother and sister kind of relationship?
If Vama loves CB7.
So you feel like, I think I'm not up for a pastor getting married, but I just said it.
I speak. Oh, cute. We are all excited. At Brunty, we don't do that.
Said you were.
Okay.
He does. Oh, let's take you in people. Yes.
We all do. How do I say it?
How do you? It's impossible. That person.
Ah. Wow, that's why I like it. I'm Pastor Vincent Katongo from BAM Ministries International. And
I'm Pastor Mulenga Mwaba Katongo, also from the same ministry of BAM Ministries.
how did we meet? Beautiful.
Yeah.
How many years ago? I can say I think should be 25 years ago.
Yes.
If we add with what we are, the years that we have lived in our marriage. It was the time that we were in the youth group, all of us, in UCZ. She used to be somewhere in the church singing in the choir. And I was also in another congregation. And it happened that we came to meet once again in Grace Ministries. And I was so much involved into the youth ministry. I was among the leadership of the youth. I encouraged the young people to remain committed to the youth because good things comes from there.
Yes, they do.
And it was the time that I was coming from a broken relationship. I'm cutting a lot of things. I was coming from a broken relationship and I was so discouraged. I'd given up and I did not want to enter in any relationship because I thought if Vama loves civic. But we thank God that we happened to at the youth camp in Chibombo Secondary School. I remember very, very much. I think that was in 1998.
Yes, it was.
Yes,
Yep.
1998. When we had a youth camp and something happened which I did not expect. I was busy giving out because this was a national youth camp. We had people from all over Zambia and I was in charge whenever the youths come. I'll allocate them in their dormitories and be able to give them mattresses and make sure that they are comfortable. They were coming from Lusaka. There was another team that was coming from the Copper Belt. And when we were doing that, I did not know that someone was really looking at me differently. My mind was not even into a relationship. Amazingly, this woman, she hears God. My mom, she was a reverend. May her soul rest in peace. She passed on. So she was among the preachers or the invited guests that were supposed to be ministering. And as she was being introduced to come and preach, she was seated among the fellow women as youths with other colleagues. I'm telling you, she had put me in a very big trouble. And she says, that one, she's my mother-in-law. And everyone was surprised because they knew me differently and I knew her differently. And after the service, people who were maybe candidates or people were expecting that I would propose them, they came to me and asked me, Mulenga was saying that your mother, she's her in-law. Who is dating her? And I didn't know what to answer. I says, I don't know. I'm not the one who said that. Maybe if you can ask her, she'll be able to tell you what she meant. Now, when I looked at the list of my brothers, we were only the two of us who were very committed to the things of God. In that, my brother, who is a bishop in the Copper Belt, and myself. So when they talked, this is my mother-in-law, I just says, I don't know. And that became a problem in the youth camp. So a lot of young ladies started asking. And I did not even go to approach her. I think she'll be able to elaborate on what she meant when she said that. But what I'm trying to say is that the person that actually was eyeing on me, she's the one who came and asked that, do you know that this one said this? So I says, who is she? I was just seeing her from afar. And she opened my eyes that there is something that I am missing out here. So I started observing the moves and everything in the camp. I did not approach her and I did not say anything until the end of the camp. We even left. Everyone left and came back to Lusaka. When we came back to Lusaka, it dawned into me now, because this other lady started pestering and asking, you must tell me. And I said, hey, this is trouble now. So it's when I took also trouble to approach. I made an appointment to her. I said, I would like to see you. Not from the camp, I'd like to see you. I called the sister. By then, there was no even these cell phones. It was the landline. So I called home and she was not around. I was told she has gone for extracting. She had a toothache. The young sister answered. Yeah. So I said, okay, when she comes, let her call me. I gave the number of where I used to operate at Kulima Tower there. Then she called and I made an appointment. So it's from that appointment that now the conversation started. Maybe before I go on that conversation, maybe she may say something.
On my part, we were in both grown up from a youth meeting from the same ministry. So it happened that in the same camp meeting, he was in charge of the loading. He was in charge of the loading the lodging part, and I was in charge of the kitchen and hospitality. So he was doing his part and I was doing my part.
Food.
So food issues. Yeah. So I didn't realize that actually my mother-in-law had come to preach and minister. So I had said something. So I don't know what, maybe the Lord just led me to say that that's my mother-in-law. I don't know why and what, from out of the blues, because for instance, in my case, I thought I'll never get married to a pastor because I thought of, you tell yourself and look at the levels of spirituality. So you feel like, I think I'm not up for a pastor getting married, but I just said it. And here we are. In the long run, we got back to our various places, and then I got sick, and then I had a toothache, like I said. So I just got a call that there's this guy that was calling me, and we made a date. And from there onwards, I actually had to ask him to say, can you mention why are we on this date? Are you really seriously or is this just a brother and sister kind of relationship, so that I don't put myself into something which in the long run I'll regret? I was so free because I think I'm a straight person, so I had to ask in that way.
No, actually what had happened, this is a very interesting story. When we came back, and I was so scared, and because of the family where she was coming from. I was coming from, they were staying in a suburb.
Yeah.
We were staying in Mandevu, that comparison, and you look at yourself to say, wow, this place, the father drives, they are staying in Ibex, and we are staying on this. Will she even be able to agree? So there were a lot of things that were going in my mind, and all I had followed is the words that she had used. I said, why did she say, that's my mother-in-law? And that's what I wanted to find out. And from there, when I made a date, I asked her, I says, you see, I've gone through a relationship and I've been hurt before, and I wouldn't want to start something that I will regret in the future. So when we start this thing, my prayer is that it will take us up to the time that we can be able to be husband and wife. And I says, are you truly serious on this thing that we about to start?
Yeah.
It is from there that I proposed, and she said yes. And from there, it was very interesting because I had failed in about 3 relationships. That scared me. 3 relationships. This first one, I'm the one who just says, I don't want you. The 2, I was disappointed because of certain things that I discovered in this relationship. And these 2 really made me so scared to the point that I hated women. I never even thought of wanting to get close to a woman because of certain things that were happening. So I just told myself I would rather be alone. So because of these 3 relationships that I failed, when I told my mother and my father to say there is a woman that I've seen, they told me this one is the 4th one now.
Yeah.
Because everyone that I would introduce them to them, and they told, bring her, we want to see her. After she had agreed, so I was very scared. I took her home in Mandevu. That's where I took her to my parents, where we were staying. And There's something that has kept us up to today,
Yeah.
which my mom told me after failing in these 3 relationships. Say, my son, you have brought this girl, she's the 4th one, from the relationship. She didn't even hide. She told on our face. But there's one thing that I want you to know and to keep, that this one, you must not let her go. I was like, oh my God, this is now serious. And he says, there is one thing that I want you to know, that the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ has never failed to solve any problem that you may encounter. And that has kept us running into this, our relationship. And we thank God that we are here, and it is from there where also our parents, we met, we agreed. And in 2000,
Yes.
I moved out of Lusaka, went into work into Copperbelt, and 2003 it all happened. Imagine we knew each other in 1988, 98, and we only came to get married in 2003 December.
Yes. Yeah, I got excited in the long run. Yes, yeah. After he had proposed to me now, then we dated for about 3 years. Yeah, and I said yes. He proposed, and we got married in December. Yes. Yeah, the wedding preparations went on very well. We took some time, yes, in preparing. There was everything in place. In the long run, yeah, we had to make sure that things are done. The wedding dress is in place. Everything was done, and I think, yeah, and we prepared very well. Everything was in place, and here we are. It was apparently a season of rains. Huh? So we were in John Leng, that's where the church was. So we had to move, and then the car got stuck. We had to call some people to come and push us. It was just near the tent where the wedding was. It was a rainy season, so yeah. So yeah, in the long run, yeah. But there's always a fear that comes upon you, because you're transitioning from one step to the other. So there's just a bit of fear to say how now it dawns on you to say, now I've grown. I'm no longer with my parents, in my parents' home, and starting a new home and a new life and phase. Yeah.
For the first time, there was excitement and fear, because you don't know the next what will happen, to stay with a stranger that you've never stayed with before. You are used, when you wake up, you are alone, but here is a person. So there was a lot of things that were going in my mind, but very exciting. And one of the things that got me so much excited, it was to see being brought with parents. They had made the brothers to the father.
That, yeah.
They had made there were 3 of them. They handed over. This one came and handed over
From the youngest.
and
From
the
the youngest.
original now father coming in, and we had all servants of God. And one exciting thing is that it was on our wedding that we saw some of our relatives giving their lives to the Lord, because the message of salvation was preached, including my biological mother gave her life to the Lord on our wedding.
Well, it's just believing in God that He can do things. There are many times we fell and have some misunderstanding, but we still hold on to Christ because He's our anchor. He's the great foundation. We base our lives on Christ, because if you don't have Christ, then you fail in everything else. So we had married in 2003 in December. So it's always, when you get married, you hope to have a child. You plan and say, okay, in the next 2 years, we'll have a child. And believe you me, you pray for someone, because we pray for, we're counselors. So we'll counsel someone, they keep on having babies. And then in the long run, it takes about 9 years, over 9 years, and then the child is not coming. So you just hold on to Christ in the long run. And the Lord made a way for us, even in time of our situation in the stormy times. So in the 10th year, we had our baby girl, and she's now 13 years. The Lord is, He's good. He says, call on me in the day of trouble, and I will answer you. So the Lord is a God of impossibilities, and the things that seems to be very hard. In the long run, the Lord, when you hold on to Him, He'll make it happen, and things will just fall in place.
Amen.
Amen.
Also, Vince,
Thank you for that. This has really been a challenge. I believe in every marriage, conflict resolution. Number one, you have to know that how much you love your wife, how much you are dedicated will help you to navigate and exactly know how to handle conflicts. I remember just when we just got married, because of not knowing how to handle conflict, we were just weeks in marriage, actually. We were on our honeymoon in Cape Town, and something happened which made me to lose it. I think my temper just went off, and I told her, this marriage is over. I'm telling you. 2 weeks in marriage, I says this marriage is over, because she said something that I did not expect, and I was very upset. And where we were being hosted, they thought that these people, they are together, but it was amazing that we will do things, and there's a lot of pretense, until the Lord ministered to me to say, this is not what I brought you together for. I had to apologize and came together. So conflict resolution is one of the things that when it is not handled properly, you think like God was not involved in your relationship, and yet God is involved. So number one, what I do is, when there is something that is wrong, I don't keep it under carpet. I bring it and I address it immediately. No matter, I will not allow to sleep with any bitterness, any anger, or anything that is not right. I will address it immediately. Sometimes she may say, no, what I says, look, we need to talk about this. And once we talk about it, we move on. And we make sure that we maintain whatever that we have been doing after resolving that conflict. There is nothing like, we must make sure that the love and the relationship and all the plans continues, because when you have not sorted any conflicts, you are actually putting yourself in a situation of not moving forward to the goals and the plans that you have as a couple. So I encourage those that are listening to this program to make sure that don't put and build fouls upon fouls. Now, when something small has happened, these are the situations where you find that just a small thing, a person will go and bring a sermon. I want to divorce. And the person will be wondering, but I just committed this small thing. Why? Because they've been piling a lot of conflicts which were not resolved. So I encourage the viewers to make sure that whenever there is any conflicts, either from a family or from my family, we address it immediately so that we don't find ourselves starving our goals and our relationship and our track in which God has put us to run. And these are the things that have made a lot of marriages to break today. It is because of not handling conflicts properly.
Yes. It's just usually addressing it as it comes. You, once you get a misunderstanding, you need to adjust and put it in the boardroom by tabling it and say, this and this has happened. How do we go about it? And you resolve the matter. Amen. Wow. I just appreciate his love for God and also his love that it shows towards my life.
The consistency of loving God from the time that I knew her, she has not changed. And the support towards the work of ministry. If it was maybe other people, by now they would have not been with me because of the turbulence that we have gone through. But throughout, this woman, she has stood with me in good times and in bad times, in having and not having.
Yeah.
And we are here because of what she is. She's a person who can adjust easily any environment. She will just flow and she will not have any problem. If you say, let's sleep on the floor, she goes and sleeps on the floor. If she says, hey, we are sleeping outside, she goes and sleeps. There's nothing like niche chavele. So I love that kind of spirit that she carries. And I says, God, I wish I had this kind of a thing in her where whenever we go to the village, she will become like a village girl. Whenever you go to town, she becomes like a town girl. And it's not easy to see such kind of a jewel in her. So
yeah. Yes, there is. Mostly we do devotions mostly in the mornings or in the evenings. So we have that routine where we get together, even together with our daughter. When she comes from school, we get together, read the word together, and have a prayer session together. That keeps us running. Just affirmations, like, to say I really love you and yeah, you've got this, girl. Yeah. Those kind of things.
Wow, there's one thing that she has made an addiction to be every morning and every evening or when you are coming. They've never, either things are bad or they are good. She'll always come and give you a kiss. I'm like, okay, whenever we arrive at home, anywhere where we will go, she will just be able to say, this is me. You've not given it. I've not given it to you. In the morning, in the evening, and she will never go to bed without saying good night.
Well, and the very important thing that I've learned is adjustments. You are two different individuals that are so special. You are uniquely made. So there are certain traits that we carry and characters and attitudes maybe. So whatever you portray, you need to really study one and you need to study the other and then try to put them in your way because it's an adjustment really. That's all I can say.
My wife, she's not stingy. She's very, very generous. And she just give, even when she remains with nothing, it's something that I've learned that generosity always pays back, and it always honors you. And that thing is something that is not easy. No matter what, either people say what, she just gives it. And one of the other thing is she's one person who never lie. She'll tell you the truth. Even if when you've spoken things, she'll just say, this is the way it is. And I'm like, and she'll just tell you, this is the way it is. And that I see God is our God who always wants the truth.
Yeah.
She will not defend. When you're wrong, you're wrong. She'll just speak it the way it is.
Yeah.
So I've learned that, and she's helped me to be truthful in everything that we do.
Oh. I guess they don't understand the institution of marriage, what it entails. Really, before you get into something, you need to make a research. What is it about marriage? What is it that I want to get? What is it that I want to build in my friend's life? So it's really a matter of putting in a lot of effort. You put the seed in the ground and help it germinate. So a lot of people, they haven't been counseled. They don't know what it is about marriage. No wonder things are falling apart, because they haven't researched as much. What is this that we want to start and build as a friendship? So it's a lot of involvement. It really has to be a profit-making thing. You need to be entrusted to say, I'm bringing in a person that I need to build. There's something that the Lord has given me to help this man. That's why I'm coming into this institution. So it's a lot of work. We don't want to see this thing crumbling anymore. People must be counseled and get prepared firmly to know what it is about marriage.
Yeah, my encouragement, I would say, is don't fall in love, but you must enter into love and prepare and know the person that you want to be married to. You need to marry someone that you can be able to flow. The IQ. Imagine I am 27 and I go and I marry a 15-year girl. I mean, there is no maturity. So when I am planning for marriage, I must plan a mature and a person that when we are seated, we can conversate. There will not be any comparison and beginning to feel intimidated. A lot of young people today are rushing just because of I've seen your shape of your body is looking good, and you think like, I can manage. No. It's not about the shape. It's about the heart of a person and how they can be able to take you to another level. Because if I am marrying, I must marry someone who will help me grow from where I am to another level. And as you are acknowledging also, you must be able to, what is it which this person is bringing into my life? Is it adding value or it is devaluing me? Because when you talk about marriage to the young people that are getting involved, you must make sure that whatever relationship you are involved in, it must be a relationship that is adding value to your spirituality, to your career, and even your well-being. If the relationship is taking away your belief, your career, and your well-being, run away before we take you 6 feet. What qualifies someone to be a marriage counselor? I would say, number one, it is character. Because if I am a marriage counselor and I don't have the character of what it takes to be a marriage counselor, I am coming from my house which is full of division, confusion, and a lot of trouble. Then I begin to counsel someone, because I can only be able to give what I carry. I cannot give what I don't carry and what I don't show, because it is my appearance that will make people to believe in me even before I begin to say this is what I can do. People can be able to say, okay, this one can be able to do this. But today we have people who are being paid, who have just taken this thing of counseling as education, and yet when you look at their lives, they don't respect their husband, they don't respect their wives, they are full of cheat in their relationship and all kind of things, and they will come and say, Mwaiche signing kuchite counsel. What counseling are you going to give when you yourself, you have about 3 chains of women behind who are brought a lot of pain even in the marriage that you are in? So I would encourage people, when you are being allocated in the area of counseling, to anybody, check their lifestyle. Their lifestyle must be checked, and you must be able to track their background, where they are coming from, how they have lived their lives, and where they are, and what they are saying. Is it true, or it is just something that they've read from the book and they are not appealing it to themselves?
Yeah.
All right, now I'll pose this question to both.
Well, I think it's the background of certain leaders of a ministry. I would say it's a twofold. There are certain people that have come to a realization that things haven't worked out due to the wrong foundational aspect, and they've rectified it, So it just really must be an effort of a leader of a ministry to come to realization, to say things must turn around for the good, by helping the youths, having different activities, having different sermons in helping those that are getting into marriage.
Yeah, what I can say, thank you for this question, and I'm glad that you've asked it, because the church, with different doctrines that have come, we have failed the people, because there are a lot of doctrines that are going on, and the lack of balancing on how we run our ministries that have made people not to be able to believe, especially in us clergy. You find that a family will trust me with their daughters, and I'll begin to eyeing their daughter, and I'll find myself maybe in a relationship with the daughter that the parents, who are probably my leaders in the church, have trusted me, and only to come and discover that it is shima people. And now you begin to look at all those things. They have contributed. And on this one, we cannot be able even to run away from it, because these are the things that we are hearing. On the other hand, God has remnants who He has protected to be able to say, this is what must be able to be done. For me, if you are coming to me, I am an officer who does marriages. I am gazetted in the nation of Zambia, and I always tell people, if you want me to be your officer on that day to marry, you must go through at least 6 months of marriage counseling. If you cannot be able to go through that intense marriage counseling, I cannot officiate on your wedding, because I have seen that even when we do the counseling, there must also a follow-up after these people have gotten married on how they are doing, because there is no any follow-up. We just marry them and we leave them go like that. But if we can be able to have a follow-up to know how they are doing, because they are two strangers who have come together, it will be able to help to save a lot of marriages. Just maybe before there's something that happened where one of the Shibukombe started bringing in weird doctrines of before these people got married, that when they were bringing the woman first, the woman must come like this in order to meet. Before they get married, they must meet before they get married. I says, it's a sin, not over my watch. These are my children and I'm not going to allow such kind of a thing. So we need to, as men of God, to counter check who is the Shibukombe, what kind of the things they are putting in our children. Banavukombe, what kind of things are they teaching our daughters? Because it is through the teaching, when you as a pastor, you are not there, that are making a lot of our children, before they know it, 3 months down the line, they want to get out of the marriage. Why? Because the spiritual aspect, the culture aspect is not tarrying, and they get confused.
The 7th of August.
Yeah, it's on the 7th of July. It's not a big deal, especially for me, but it's me who always takes it up that it must be done. It must be done.
Yeah.
It must, for me, I make sure that it is done.
Done, yeah.
For me, even if they've not done anything, I'm good. I'm good. But I have put it on myself. I says, no matter what, it must be done.
Oh, that's my weakness. I like celebrating people's birthdays. So I do. If I could, I would. Yeah.